I'm Jacob Hamilton,
And I'm Hidro Joseph.
and welcome to the Hardwood Huddle, a basketball podcast where we break down the latest news and games in the NBA and basketball world. Hidra, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. We're tied tied NBA Final Series with the series going to Indiana for the first time in 25 years.
Yep.
So looking forward to see what kind of electricity they have in that building in order to bring their first championship home. Uh, very exciting to see them bring in the number one team in the league into their building, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, neither do I, honestly. I mean, we can just kind of like jump into it. I feel like since we already talking about it. Yeah, I mean, we'll go over game 1 and 2 real quick. But for game 1, Pacers win 111 to 110. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton hits the walk-off mid-range shot to defeat the Thunder. Um Stats wise, Pascal Siakam 19 points, 10 boards. Tyrese with 14 points, 10 boards, 6 assists. Andrew Nemhard with 14 points, 4 boards, and 6 assists. Obi with 17 points, and Miles Turner with 15 and 9 rebounds. For the Thunder side of things, obviously Shea does his thing and gets 38. Lou Dort with 15, J Dub with
38.
17, and Alex Caruso with 11, Isaiah Hartenstein with 9, and Chet Holmgren with 6. So that was game 1. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton hits the walk-off mid-range shot. I didn't get to see it. Of course, my
Oh
basketball game
no.
starts when there's like 8 minutes left in the fourth, and so like I get subbed out, and my friend's like, "Yo, did you see what happened?" I'm like, "No, obviously I didn't see what happened. I was on a real life basketball court playing a game." And they're like, "Tyrese Halliburton hit a walk off shot." I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "No way!" Like the devil magic is coming, man, and I believe that it's almost true because it's getting kind of weird, the stuff that they're kind of doing here. But yeah, I mean, I was. What was your reaction? Obviously, we really haven't gotten to talk about it too much yet, but
It's because I tried to tell you about it live and I was like, what's going on? What do you mean you didn't see it? I was like, you got a basketball podcast, sir. What's
yeah,
happening? Oh, nah, you're busy playing basketball. I got it.
yep,
That's it's all good. Um, Before we get into Tyrese Halliburton, I want to give a shout out to SGA. That was his first NBA Finals.
yes,
He dropped 38 points. I don't know. I can't recall what that is on the list of finals debuts, but that's got to
agreed.
be high. I'm pretty sure that's in the top three at minimum. So I think that's pretty wild. Even though the way scoring is these days, it's a lot different than it was back in the day. But still, um, the electricity in that building propelled him to score that much, and I'm not sure if that had an effect on his co-stars per se, because Chet Holmgren averages like 15 some points a game.
Yep.
Solid, solid third scorer for their team, who produces mostly off of SGA creating on his behalf, um, especially when the game gets bogged down. And then you have J Dub, who had an off night there as well.
Yeah.
So it seemed to have an effect. Like maybe you get so amped up that you go do your thing and don't realize that you need your co-stars, or they kind of let off the gas, and
Yeah.
so you have this big old lead, which everybody in the building feels like, hey, the game is out of reach, but Indiana
Yeah.
Pacers are like, we got you right where we want you, and
Literally.
now no game is out of reach for them.
No.
A lot of that obviously with Halliburton only scoring 14 points, which we'll talk about after we get to game two, by the way,
Yep.
because there's a lot of criticism online about uh, Tyrese Halliburton, despite the fact that he's been hitting game winners on the level of Robert Ory, Michael Jordan, Derek Fisher, all of the
He's missed
great
one game winning
game
shot
winning
all
shots.
season. So I mean that's all I have to say about that is I mean he's missed one game winner all year. So but that's that really.
But I was watching the game, and uh, it's just like I said on a previous pod, I believe. It's basically them chopping the wood, chopping that tree down, chopping that tree down.
Yep.
And eventually it tumbles. I'm not sure how it gets to that point because a lot of it seems so fluky that I'm not sure how you continue to replicate that because I still remember how they were getting free throw rebounds against Cleveland
Yeah.
in their comeback. I still remember the insane sorcery they did to come back from down 7 or 8 points with 40 seconds left against Milwaukee.
Yep.
Um, you got the Knicks that were up big and lost that one by game one. He came back and did the choke sign after stepping back for what he thought was a three, but
Yeah.
then they ended up being way down in overtime and coming back and winning that game. That
Yep.
cost Tom Thibodeau, New York Knicks head coach, his job. Now you got the Thunder, best defense in the league,
Yep.
and for whatever reason, I don't know if it, I don't know if you want to blame the coach for it or whatever, but you have SGA that has the ball with them up one, and he takes the shot and leaves like 7 or 8 seconds left on the clock. When he
Uh,
misses
11.1 seconds left
uh,
on the clock.
11.1 seconds left on the clock, he misses the shot, and Indiana decides not to take a timeout to let the number one defense set up,
Yep.
and Tyrese Halliburton does his thing. That seems so fluky in that instance. Like we could have totally seen a situation where you know uh, the coach of the Thunder, Mark Daniel, would have called like a timeout or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe teams with more experience guys hold holding the ball at that moment would
Yep.
actually not take a shot in order to re- kind of reduce the amount of time that the Pacers have. And then
Yep.
obviously you send two people at Tyrese Halliburton and let somebody else beat you.
Yep.
But I mean, that's a strategy you think about. Is this something you think about before, or do you think about in hindsight type thing? Like, because we've already seen what Indiana Pacers doing now. Every time a team goes up 17, 18 points, 20 points, it, it's like, hey, we can't let the foot off the gas. All the
Yeah.
players got to continue playing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So is this something that is strategy, something you think about in hindsight and then prevent it, or is that something that could have been preventable? Assuming you have like, there's no timeout for you to like set up
Yeah.
and talk about it.
I think it's kind of like almost like a hindsight thing. It's like obviously like you look back and like because this is I'm just gonna say this to set the table, right? Because with with 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Thunder were up 110 to 105, right? So obviously the Pacers obviously came back and made it close, of course, but this was the turn of events. So 2 for 2 on Nemhard free throws. Pascal gets blocked for a layup. Nemhard misses a 28-foot game tying shot. Pascal hits a putback layup, but then J Dub with 24.9 on the clock, right? Yep, missed an 8-foot floater. But then Pascal Siakam steps out of bounds. So you have the ball. Like you
Mhm.
have the ball with 11.1 seconds remaining, and you just with 22.5. So you don't have a shot clock to worry about. You can just almost hold the ball, but I obviously get like it's a little different because like you still just want to score, right? But yeah, I think it's definitely like a hindsight thing because it's obviously like as a fan at least, like I'm gonna go back if I'm a Thunder fan, I'm gonna go back and be like, damn, like we could have done so much better in that last legit minute 30 and to do this and like the Dag now could have done better this, players could have done better
I,
that,
I
right?
I think the players kind of shake their head when they look at it on replay and realize,
Oh,
hey,
of
if
course.
we just don't take a shot, maybe they foul us and we shoot free throws and they're forced to
Yeah.
take a three in overtime.
Yeah.
They probably call timeout. That stuff. We can even do the thing that we did earlier with, I think they did that against Minnesota, where they intentionally fouled up three
Yeah,
to
I think
to
so.
keep them
Which an
from
up
being
three
able to take
foul is
any
good
threes.
foul. That's a good foul. So it's yeah, I don't know. It's definitely looking back. Well, obviously, like game two is past now as well, so it's kind of hard to like really think back to game one and been like, oh, this is like how what they could have done better and all this and that because I don't have it down here. But it's definitely just something that like obviously like game ones are different, right? Like you go into game one with the game plan because the Thunder came out with a new starting lineup, different to what we were comparing starting lineups for before the finals had started. And they started Case and Wallace instead of iHeart, which I mean they obviously did in game two as well. So it's just not. It's they're trying to get different looks, and the Pacers obviously like have to adjust to that as well. So it's definitely hard to go back and like be like this is exactly what they could have done better in this moment in this time. But obviously, like Thunder fans can tell me better because Thunder fans are probably thinking about that game one and like, damn, we could have been up 2-0. But obviously they're not because Tyrese Halliburton does which things in the locker room and might be taking sacrifices for life.
One thing I didn't like about what I found was a bit inexplicable. I couldn't really explain it myself. Was that they decided to go small. The Thunder did in game one, to match what the Pacers were doing, going small.
Mm,
And I thought that was weird, seeing as they got Chet Holmgren, and
yeah,
and it's kind of like they were trying to match up to contest the 3 pointers, and that just wasn't working out. So
yeah,
when we get to game two, we'll tell you the difference.
yeah. And when I really like when I go back to really think about that lineup, right, that they went out in game one with and game two, I'm thinking about it. I mean, I get it because like Pascal can move off the floor probably quicker than Chet and iHeart can because he's just quicker with the ball. He's obviously not as tall as the both of them, but it's like you have that size domination over them so much. And it's like Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner are gonna just have to beat like a Twin Towers group of iHeart and Chet. So it's like I don't know. I don't hate it, but at the same time I don't love it. I'm very like okay, like if this is they're deep enough to really do whatever they want, and obviously game two, like the score of that game says different. But yeah, I don't know.
There was a long time between game one and game two, and it seemed like everybody
Yeah,
got into study mode and was like, you know what, uh, we wash ourselves with this one, and we can't go down 0-2 the same way the Knicks did at
yeah.
home against the Pacers team. So they did not. Game two was
The
a
score the score to game two, I'll just say it just so we have it, was 123 to 107. Obviously, Thunder win because the series is now tied 1-1. Um, but I might as well just go over the stats for game two as well. We might just talk about it. Pascal for the Pacers side of things, Pascal 15, 7 boards, Tyrese Halliburton 17, 3 boards, 6 assists, TJ McConnell 11, Nembhard 11, Miles Turner 16, Neesmith 14, Benedict Mathurin 14, and yeah, those are Obi Toppin with 3, Ben Shepherd, yeah, with 3. I wanted to call him Reed. I don't know why, but that was what I
nah.
wanted to call
Reed
him.
doesn't play. Reed
Yeah,
Shepard does
Reed
not
doesn't
play.
play. For the Thunder side of things, Shea does his thing once again. 34 points, 5 boards, 8 assists, 4 steals, and 1 block. J Dub 19 points, still not a great performance. Number or shooting wise, from him 5 for 14 from the field. Wiggins 18, Caruso 20, Chet 15, Case and Wallace 4, iHeart 3, Ludort 3. So that is the game 2 player stats.
So he got 38. SGA, the MVP of the NBA.
Yep.
38 points in game one, 34 points in game two.
Yes.
That's gotta be
A
that's gotta
record.
be like top two, top three of all time in your debut finals. So
Oh, right here. I have it. I do have it pulled up. With 72 points for the first 2 games of the series, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander set the record for most points ever by a player through the first 2 career NBA Finals games. The honor was previously held by Allen Iverson, who scored 71 in the first 2 Finals games, and that was obviously against the Lakers in
so
2000.
number one, of all time. Okay. Um, Speaking on that from that perspective, it seems like the Pacers don't intend on having an answer for SGA. Their
No,
intent is to
stop
slow
everybody else.
down slow down J Dub. I'm not sure about everybody else, But
Well,
their intent is to slow down J-Dub. I think that they're trying to impose their will when it comes to their bigs as opposed to the other way around, where they acquiesce to a smaller lineup.
yeah.
And they got contributions from unsung heroes like Aaron Wiggins was the one that stuck out to me the most
Mhm.
in that game. He was pretty dominant, and
Yeah. 6 for
I like
11 from the field, 5 for 8 from three, 75% true shooting. So pretty elite from Aaron Wiggins.
if they're getting that from Aaron Wiggins, it's going to be really difficult for the Pacers to win the series,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of what a game two was. What a lot of people were afraid of when it came to the NBA Finals. They thought this is what the NBA Finals is going to look like. There's
Mhm.
going to be a bunch of different people, random people that step up for the Thunder because as good as the Pacers have been playing, they can't stop everybody, and they
No.
certainly can't stop the MVP.
Yeah.
So if worst comes to worst, Thunder are shooting free throws, and they're shooting free throws at a high clip.
Yep.
So if they're
Yeah.
having trouble scoring at all, so that's what everybody seemed to worry about, and it kind of manifests itself in game two. And then you had Tyrese Halliburton that finished with how many points was it?
Tyrese finished with 17 points,
17.
3 boards, 6 assists, and 4 stocks combined. So 2 for 2 from steals and blocks.
It didn't look like he had 17 points.
No.
Tell me the field goals made.
7 for 13, 3 from 8 from three with a 65% true shooting. So, I mean, just nothing pretty much. I mean, like, obviously, 53%, 7 for 13 isn't the worst, but in a game two where your team is getting beat pretty badly, I mean, you're going to have to shoot a little bit better from that. But that's not also on top of him. Pascal only 3 for 11 from the field. Pascal shot 9 free throws, so that also accounts for 15 of his. So, I mean, it really kind of was. And TJ
Hey,
McConnell, 71. Like, it was.
hey, Pascal Siakam is collecting that Eastern Conference Finals MVP hardware and all that stuff, but he's not getting the same accolades and talk about that Tyrese Halliburton is getting. Shoot, he's not even being talked about the same as Tyrese Halliburton's dad. John Halliburton has gotten more
Literally.
publicity on the court than Pascal Siakam has. And yes, John Halliburton has been on the court.
Yeah,
He promised not to do that again. And in return, he's actually showing up for these finals games, which I'm happy about that for him.
of course.
But uh, yeah, Ty- they talk about Tyrese Halliburton as as kind of like a superstar. The way he's been scoring all of these late game winning shots. However,
Yeah.
that's not how people talk about him online. A lot of people are still saying that he's the way like just his numbers aren't giving star player at all. He's giving
No.
like third
Third best
scorer.
player on the team.
Yeah, it's like we're talking a lot. We're writing a lot of words in articles on BellyUpSports.com.
Yep.
We're doing a lot of chit chat on the pods and on the social media about this Tyrese Halliburton guy, and he's not producing like somebody we should be talking about like that. So
Yeah.
maybe he's more on the lines of Robert Ory than he is a Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah, the superstar stuff is it's obviously like it's hard to call him a superstar, right? Like I don't know, I can't even remember if we talked about this last episode, but it's also it's hard to call him a superstar, right? Because it's like he's doing superstar things, but then there's
He's a
games
starting
where
point guard in the finals. He's a
yeah,
starting point
right.
guard in the NBA finals.
He's up there, but it's like how much what do you classify as a superstar? That's the question. It's like how many superstars do we have in the NBA? Like I realistically don't think we have more than like 7.
Without Tyrese Halliburton, are the Pacers in the NBA finals?
Absolutely not.
Tied at
Absolutely
one,
not.
tied 1-1 by the way, with the number
Absolutely
one
not.
team in
No,
the
and don't
entire
get me wrong.
NBA.
I'm rooting for the Pacers this series, right? But but there's no like this isn't because I hate OKC. Like I do like OKC a lot, right? Like I still have like that weird connection just because of Russ. to OKC because he's one of my favorite players of all time. So I still have to hold
Yes.
that there. But it's but like I'm just trying to see like the Pacers win a championship. But it's like at the same time, it's just like you're not gonna win a game if like but I'm not putting all this on Tyrese though. A lot of this is on Pascal Siakam shooting legit 27 in the field.
Ain't
I
nobody trying to
shot
talk
better.
about Pascal,
I shot
man.
better in my JCC league game. The Thursday before. I shot 3 shots. I made 2 of them. I'm
Did y'all
shooting
win?
better than Pascal. I'm better. Maybe I'm
Did
just
y'all
better
win?
and I need to be on the court. Say it
Did
again.
y'all win?
Hell no. We got beat bad, like badly. Like I think we opened up the game like 15-0. Like I was pretty upset because I was like, nah, see, like I could have been watching the finals right now, but like I'm out here on the court, 2 20-minute halves. I'm like huffing and puffing. I haven't gotten any like physical activity in lately, but that's besides the point. I had 6 points, took 3 shots, so not too bad. But yeah, I don't know. Tyrese Halliburton's not a superstar to me yet, but I also don't like know like what qualifies for me as a superstar. Like I haven't really put in the time to like think about it because like I'm not thinking about a Tyrese Halliburton's a superstar right now. I'm thinking about how are the Pacers going to be able to win this championship this year, like in this beautiful window that they have and that has been handed to them almost. So
We can
that's
do
more
we
like
can do a pod. We can do a pod on it. What makes an NBA
yeah,
superstar in 2025? I'll
yeah,
offer you some different scenarios,
yeah,
and you tell me who fits the most in
yeah.
today's NBA. That's
And
off
it's
season stuff.
yeah, and just to make sure that this is clear, like this is not like me not calling Tyrese Halliburton a superstar is not like taking away everything he's done. I have like enjoyed every minute of this playoff run, and it's hilarious to me almost just because of like how many like let's be for real here, like they're not like doing like crazy stuff in the locker room and sacrificing lives like I see on like people saying on Twitter. It's like, but that is some funny stuff, and I'm loving it, and that's almost like a little superstar stuff because like, hey, you're bringing the noise. People are talking online, like that's kind of what brings, but no, Tyrese Halliburton is not a superstar, but I'm not taking away anything that he's done. That's just like what like my standards are in a sense. So,
All
but
right, I want to talk about Rick Carlisle.
yeah,
They, I mean, all right. So there's a segment of the online. So Rick Carlisle is the Indiana Pacers head coach.
yep,
He's previously won a championship in 2011 as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks.
yep,
They swept the Lakers, and that was Kobe, Phil Jackson, and them, and
yep,
ended their run as a championship caliber team that went to the finals 3 straight times. Then they got to the finals. They took on the Heatles and with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and beat them and
yep,
won a championship. And a lot of people thought that was great. And he's now taking these Pacers team to the finals and already has a split going home. They have the home court advantage and all that stuff. So
yeah,
there's a faction of the internet that's saying that Rick Carlisle's this superstar coach. Some argue the best coach of all time because they say he set up that Pistons team before Larry Brown took it and won the championship in 2004. And there's the other faction. I'm on that side of the faction that says, "Hey, he's a really good coach. We're not putting him on the level of greatest coach of all time
hmm
because they've they've won some very good series against
hmm
some like they entertained us. So
yeah,
I mean, we got Rudy Tomjanovich who's won 2 championships. He entertained in those come from behind victories in those series. I thought those were good for my Houston Rockets.
yep,
I've liked how the Pacers have overcame what they did last year,
of course,
getting
yeah,
to the conference finals to get to the finals this year. And I like how they have home court advantage and all that stuff. But Rick Carlisle is not doing. He's not one of those guys, and I'll tell you why. I like how those. I like how the players are playing. However, they're doing that like in the second half and at the end of games. Like all of this
Yeah.
going down by 15, 20 points, all of this stuff is happening at the beginning of damn near all games.
Yeah. Pretty
And
much every game.
it's getting very difficult and almost like you get weary.
Yeah.
That's the word I would say. I get weary about it because it's one of those things where it's like you're if you're a fan of the Pacers, you kind of just sitting back drinking a beer, just waiting to see what's going to happen
Yeah.
next because your team goes down and it goes down all the time. But that's not something that is repeatable, in
Yeah. It's
my
not.
opinion. It's one of those things where, for whatever reason, they've repeated it all the way to a split in the NBA Finals, and
Yeah.
they only need to win 3 games in order to win the entire thing. However, what are they going to do next year? They're going to go down 15 every single game
Every
for
game and come back.
is and then make these crazy comebacks and then give it to Tyrese Halliburton to take us home.
Yeah.
I promise you that it's not going to work out like that
No.
long term, and you're going to
No.
see people turn on Rick Carlisle the same way they did when he was coaching for the Mavericks and ended
Yep.
up getting fired. The same way they did when he was coaching for the Pistons, he ended up getting fired. And so, and guys who are like the best coaches of all time don't get fired like that. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
With that being said, um, I don't think what they're doing is sustainable, which is why our predictions before this series started, I had them losing 4-0 because
Yeah.
I didn't think going down by that much is something you could do and come back against the number one defense in the league.
Yeah. It's not. It's almost not possible. But
And you had them 4-1, so
yeah.
that's still in play. But trying to make something like that sustainable is a problem, and it affects the players too. Tyrese Halliburton was hobbled at the end of game 2.
Yeah.
And as far as I could see, I could not find his status as
I
of
mean,
tonight,
I
with
can.
game with today being Monday night and game 3 is going to be on Wednesday in Indianapolis.
Uh,
So
let me.
I think there's something going on with his leg.
Yeah. This is according to Times Now News. Just want to make sure that this isn't because I don't know if this is true or not. But or no, wait, this is from game 2. Like what? Like
Yeah, game 2. End of game 2, he was so
yeah,
hobbled
no,
that
like this is
when
saying
he
like
was
he's
taking his
cleared for game 2. I mean,
uh
I don't,
when he was
I don't
taking his
really see
when he was doing
anything.
his news conference at the end, like he could barely get up
Yeah,
after the questions were done and answered, and that had me concerned uh, that the
yeah,
Thunder can kind of target a guy like that, given his reputation for making comebacks. It's like, all right, so let's zero in on him and the guys who
yeah,
like to shoot 3 pointers at the end of the games. I saw the way Isaiah Hartenstein was playing, uh, like really balls out, like diving for loose balls and
yeah,
running out to the 3-point shooters, like his life depended on it.
yeah,
It it reminded me a lot of how Alonzo Mourning used to do that for the Heat when the Heat were trying to win their first championship.
yeah,
And even as a backup center, he was going at it as if it was the last possession.
yeah,
And when the Pacers were making their run, all of a sudden you see Isaiah Hartenstein like being one of the main, possibly only ones really fighting back at that point
yeah.
from keeping them from making one of their miracle comebacks again. So I think that that's something that the Thunder is going to put on themselves to, hey, I'm not going to let one guy come back and beat me. I'm not going to let one guy come back and shoot my opponent back into the game with 3-point shots.
Yeah.
And all of that going down by 15, 16, 17 points in a game, it's just not sustainable. You're not going
No.
to win any more games like that. Not going. I mean, I want the Pacers to win. Don't get it twisted. But
Yeah.
doing it this way is just something I'm not seeing unless I see it myself. I literally have to sit and watch it like everybody else The
Yeah,
fact that they won game one is
crazy.
just as crazy as all of the other games that they came back from. And
Yeah.
all I can do is sit back and watch it, but I can never predict it.
No. And that's like for me at least, like yesterday, I was like, damn, I need to go to the grocery store. I was like, I'm gonna go after this game, right? And I was sitting here watching it, and I was seeing the outcome of the game, right? And I was like, but I don't want to leave. Like, I don't know, like what's gonna like, I don't know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen, man. Like, I don't know, like
yeah,
anything can happen. Like, it's just, it's like I love that. Like, I'm happy that's like, and I'm not like, oh, like, God, this is a wash. Like, I'm out of here. Like, no, like I just can't do that. And like, I didn't think that was gonna happen in game one, but in my back of my mind, I was like, they're not this is like this isn't happening. Like, this is the Thunder that we're talking about here. But then it did happen, and then obviously game two, it didn't happen. So um, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, it can't happen every game, but like at home, like in that environment, like in Gamebridge Fieldhouse, like that might be different. Like in like you got like Pat McAfee, you got Caitlin Clark, like you have everybody sitting courtside. Like Pat McAfee like was talking on the mic. Like, who knows if that can happen again, right? Like I want it to, because that's must see TV and that's must watch basketball. But it's like, yeah, is it sustainable? But I realistically, I think they might get a game in game three. So I think they could be up 2-1. But and then I think after
depending on
that,
Tyrese Halliburton's health. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you don't
yeah,
mind. Let me know how y'all feeling about the series. If y'all are paying attention or y'all just watching highlights, y'all let me know. Y'all just gonna sit
yeah,
back and wait till SportsCenter tells you who won, or are y'all gonna watch this finals? Because the Pacers have not won an NBA championship, and the Thunder have not won the NBA championship. The former Sonics won a championship way
yeah,
before any of y'all were born,
but
and
maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't think the Thunder brought any of like the Sonics history with them, because I think that
they brought it. They brought it, but as soon as Seattle gets another team, they
it'll go
lose it
right
all.
back to them, which it
Uh-huh.
as it should. So,
I
um,
don't even think they really like they don't talk about it in Oklahoma about the
no,
Sonics history per se because they feel like they're creating their own. With that being said, a brand new team's gonna win the NBA finals this year.
yeah,
And
I'm happy either
it's a
way.
split. It's a split going into game three.
Yep.
We don't know what's gonna happen.
No, no, and I'm not even gonna like. I'll give a prediction. Yeah, I think Pacers are gonna win Game Three, but like I don't know. Like this, I'm just excited. Like this is like what I want. Like these are the conversations that like obviously like game two, you probably could have guessed like maybe like what the outcome been like. Okay, like this is what the Thunder do, but also a stat that I saw that the Pacers are like 0-4 in playoff games on Sunday. So like I don't know what the Pacers are doing on Saturdays. Maybe they're just like, let's just go crazy Saturday, and then like we'll see what happens in the fourth quarter when we're down 25. It's like maybe that's what they do, and maybe that's where this black magic comes from. But no, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was an interesting stat, but yeah, I don't know. It's like game two was kind of predictable in a sense, but game one, I mean, like who knew what was going to happen, right? Like it obviously looked like a Thunder win going into the fourth quarter with 15 points, and then Tyrese Halliburton happened. So yeah, I would like to hear what the comments have to say about it, because it's I don't know, it's just an interesting series to kind of talk about, and because it's like none of these teams have won. They have fun guards, they have fun teams, so that's yeah,
So your game three prediction is,
Pacers.
and how do you think it looks? Do you think the Pacers pace will
That's
lead,
if
or
Tyrese
do you think they're
Halliburton's
gonna do
injury is
this?
nothing. That's if he's like not if that's like unless like he's walking out there and he's looking like just like unplayable, like then I'll be like, okay, like, but like I'm not expecting that. Like they'll give him like the crazy shots that they give the football players on the sidelines when they break their ribs. He'll go out there and be just fine. So yeah, but I'm gonna take Pacers for game three just because
Do
it's
you
at home. It's exciting.
do you think that it's gonna be one of those comeback victories, or do you think it's gonna be a victory that's like, I don't know, I don't want to say serious, an
Yeah, like
actual,
a
uh,
real win, like
yeah,
a
something
solidified through and through.
that gives people an opportunity to call you a threat to win three games out of the next five, as opposed
Yeah,
to, oh man, I just got to tune in at the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter to see what's happening because
Yeah.
that's when the Pacers decide to play, and that's when the other team decides not to.
I'm not angry that's when they decide to play because it makes the fourth quarter super fun to watch. But yeah, I don't know. That's let's say it's gonna be, I don't know. Like I think it really could be like that again, but like it's just
Oh
hard.
man.
Like I just it's hard for me to say like no, like it's not going to be like that, but like it isn't, because it's like this is like a small market, right? You're not a small market if you have an NBA team, but you're a smaller market, right? Like first finals appearance in 25 years. I think it's going to be crazy loud in there. I think it's going to be like that'll make the game close. Like I think we might like see like the Thunder run away for a little bit, like a 10 to like 12 point lead, maybe like at the end of the second, and then like the Pacers cut it to like 6 going into halftime. So I think like the biggest lead we'll see is like a 12-point Thunder lead. And imagine if that happens and I called it, like no one will hear the end of that. That's how I'm calling it. So
All
that's
right.
my prediction. What about you?
This is coming from somebody who thought it was going to be a 4-0 sweep in favor of the Thunder.
Yeah.
Um, I think that it's going to be a very raucous crowd in Indiana, and they're going to figure out a way to keep the game close as opposed to going down by a whole bunch like they
Yeah,
like
by
to.
like 25.
I think they're going to feel like the refs are jobbing them
Mm-hmm.
when SGA gets his numbers,
Yeah.
mostly from the free throw line as opposed to from the field. And I think the Pacers find a way to win a close game, but it's
Yeah.
not going to be one of those games where it's going to be like the where it's going to be like, hey, they down 17 points and they're depending on Nemhart to shoot these threes and
Yeah.
Neesmith to shoot these threes and Miles Turner to go on his third quarter run. He's been doing that to
Yeah.
bring them back in these games. Even in game two, I think that they're gonna Rick Carlisle's gonna figure out a way to keep the game closer than
Yeah.
than it's been. And if they're playing a tight game, hopefully, if the refs are jobbing them, that OKC can miss some free throws, and or maybe the Pacers get into their depth and you got their guys coming off the bench to TJ McConnell or whatever
Yeah.
gets a magnet ball and gets
Yeah.
hot because the other starting guards are in foul trouble type of thing. So
Yeah. Um,
Pacers.
there we go. Both Pacers. I really hope it happens. I just want to see it. I just want to see a Pacers win anyway. Like I think it'll be fun. But like after that, like I mean, like Pacers got there too. Like then like
I want to see OKC respond too. I want to
yeah,
see their mettle and being able to respond on the road if they're down 2-1. Like what are their intentions? Are their intentions to give up another game and try to come back from down 3-1 and try to be a LeBron James against the Golden State Warriors, or are they going to handle business like they've been doing all season?
yeah. And see this, I wanted to look up a stat here. And for game threes, because I kind of see like a pattern now. Obviously the first series of the playoffs for the Thunder was a 4-0 sweep against the Grizzlies, but um they lost game 3 against the Nuggets, and they lost game 1 against the Nuggets, and obviously they had a higher seed, so they lost game 1 on the at home, and then game 3 on the road, obviously in Denver, and then they lost game 3 against the Timberwolves. So maybe like they're like maybe it's just like a game 3 thing where it's like that home court advantage for them is too much, and in just in the first game they're not comfortable. They're like the traveling gets you. Like I think that could happen. I really think that could happen. I would not be surprised if it's just like a game 3 thing, like at all. But besides that, I wanted to give a shout out to Andrew Nemhard because I saw him cook the hell out of Shea, and that was just beautiful. And I feel like a lot of people tend to forget like that, like a lot of these like NBA players who like are like role players, right? Like this kind of almost this goes into like our next topic, that all of these guys have a bag, right? Like he has a bag. Like I don't care. Like I'm not doing that because I don't have a bag. I don't know if you can, but like I'm guessing you probably can't since we're both not in the NBA. Like we're not like doing that. Like we don't have bags. We're not in the NBA. All these guys in the NBA have bags. So like if anyone unless like you're obviously like I was about to say Wemby, but Wemby has a bag. So it's like I don't know, like anybody like 7'4" and up doesn't have a bag. Like that's because it's just too tall. But shout out to Nemhard on that because that was beautiful and I enjoyed that. So I just wanted to get that out and clear. But keeping along with like the lines of like the Andrew Nemhard bag, LeBron. I have the full suite on the Mind the Game podcast. This was LeBron's quote. I see it all the time. I be on social media and it's like LeBron has no bag. LeBron has no bag, and I'm sitting here with 50 billion points. So now this is the question that I ask you. Do you believe that LeBron James has no bag?
I believe that bags come in different shapes and sizes
Yeah.
depending on the player.
Yeah.
The smaller you are, the more it looks like you have a bag.
Yep.
As you get taller, the bags look different. So
Yeah.
as you get taller, as you get thicker, all that stuff, the bags
Yeah.
look different. So for instance, a lot of people remember Shaq in 2000, 2001, 2002. They win 3 championships in a row,
Yep.
dominate, dunking the ball, missing free throws, all that different stuff. They said they probably in 2025 would say Shaq has no bag. He's just gonna you give him the ball, he backs it in and he dunks it. Guess what? When he was younger, when he wasn't as thick,
Large.
as when he wasn't as large and all that stuff, guess what? He's dribbling like a guard,
Yep.
able to bring the ball up the court and do fun stuff with the ball. He was able to showcase a little bit of bag.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley, uh, you seen him show bag, show his bag game when it came to replays of his career.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot of bigger players, as they get older, they don't look the they don't look the part when it comes to
Yeah.
the I guess I don't want to say thin, but the kind of build that a Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, and all that stuff have at
Yeah.
6'8". So when people think about bags at LeBron's height, they think of Paul George types,
Yeah.
and they really love a Paul George type of game, the way he's able to
Yeah.
move and generate shots.
Yeah. Because when
But
Paul
the
George was actually good at basketball, he was entertaining as hell to watch, man. Like he was doing everything, like the
yeah,
just from deep end too.
a
That's
lot of
not a
people
bag, but that was just a tough move.
a lot of people mimic and enjoy what they do on the court, but
Yeah.
at that height. But the people that they claim have legit bags right now, we're talking about like John Morant, like people like younger guards who
Yeah.
are able to kind of move on the court with a high speed and all that stuff. LeBron James is 40 years old.
Yep.
He's on the tail end of his career. The If your only memory of LeBron James is Lakers, LeBron James since
Yeah.
2018, he's been with the Lakers for a lot of the time. A lot of the young people have been watching
Yep.
basketball. They
Like they
would
don't
claim he
even
has
like
no
a
bag.
lot of these young kids like don't even like they won't even like remember like the early 2000s LeBron. Like I wasn't there, like I wasn't like super like intertwined in like basketball then, but like obviously like I did my research. It's like that might have been like the most like that kind of like goes to the thing. It's like, well, he is 40, like obviously he's not going to have the same bag as he did like '09. Like he had a bag in '09. Like what are we talking about here? But like it also like yeah, like what you were like saying, like bags like come and go.
That's what I was getting to. Like his bag from the before he was in before he was in the league, where he allegedly gave Michael Jordan the 1-2 with his bag in practice, in like pickup games.
Yeah,
all the way through the Olympics, the finals in 2000, in 2007, where he
Mhm.
made the finals uh against the Spurs.
Yeah.
He showcased the bag, man. He
Yeah.
had the dribble game. He had the high flying. The bag was in the speed. He only needed one or two dribbles to get
Yeah.
from one side of the court to the other and elevate on top of people. He was elevating in different angles.
Yeah.
His bag when it comes to passing. Have you seen the commercials from when he
Yeah.
was younger? And they showed he was known for his pass game as opposed to
It
his
is.
shooting game.
Yeah. His
So
everything else. So.
yeah, his assist game was way ahead of his shooting game when he was younger.
Yeah.
So when you think of bag, you got to ask yourself: did Magic Johnson have a bag? Did like Mike Bibby,
Yeah. He did.
guys like that who were able, like just guys who were able to make good passes, especially
Yeah.
on the break type thing?
Yeah.
Uh, he had a magnificent bag, and it
Yeah.
still shows to some degree the way he can make passes in the half court.
Yep.
The passes go all the way across with a flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
And I think that's really his bag game. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily bag come in different sizes. Like so, Kyrie Irving bag is different
Completely
from
different. That like might be like the best bag ever, right? Like, but like I also want to make sure this is like the
different
like
from
I say
Andre
this.
Miller bag.
It's like he like the when we're talking about like LeBron has no bag. It's like what's a bag? Like what are we talking about here? Like is that like how you win games? Like no, like that's not how you win games by having a bag. That wins you regular season games. But like that just the people saying LeBron has no bag is like, and I'm not saying like LeBron doesn't have like a Kyrie bag. He has like a team bag. Like, and so does Kyrie. Kyrie has that, but like he also has like his own personal where he can like do like the Uncle Drew, like dribbling, like when he like spin on the ground, like doing everything like
Hmm.
crazy. It's like, but then this shows you just like where we're at, like as like a league, right? It's like, and like as like a nationwide league, right? Like, so it's like, this is what people are caring about. Like this, like, oh, like who's got a bag? It's who doesn't have a bag. It's like, who cares? Like, no one cares. If you can get to the basket and score, play good defense. I feel like I'm pretty sure LeBron just said this. It's like that's gonna make you're gonna be a lot better player if you play better defense and shoot better and focus on that than focusing on snatching people's ankles and doing everything that you shouldn't be doing. You'll go a lot farther as a basketball player. I promise you. If you do that instead of worrying about like, oh, like I gotta look good and get like an and one deal. Like you're not trying to get an and one deal. Like no one does the and one stuff anymore. It's like no, like that. If you want to do that, go to the Harlem Globetrotters, man. Like I just like let's play some real basketball here. He doesn't have like a bag compared to Kyrie, like I said, but he still has a bag, and that just needs to be acknowledged.
I, I like how people like to want to compare him to like the best handles of potentially
What?
of all time, some of the
Yeah,
best finishing of all time, and all that stuff. But that's the problem with being the goat. Like you get compared to the best,
yeah,
no matter what, even if it's not like your forte per se.
yeah.
It's still your skill set. Because hear me out. Look, just to close the topic, you can't score that many points
But
taking
having no
dribble,
bag.
dribble, dribble, and lay the ball up, and you
Yeah,
can't do things in different ways. If that's the only move you got, it's gonna come to an end before
yeah,
you get to uh, Michael Jordan levels of scoring, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's level of
exactly.
scoring.
It's
Yeah.
like Jordan realistically, and this isn't hate on Jordan. It's like Jordan probably like Jordan had a handle, right? Like that we can all admit that, like realize that. I wasn't there to see it, but like from my own research after the
Oh, he
fact,
was good.
it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like his handle was there, but like, are we compare like you can't compare his handle to like Kyrie or AI, like, but like look at where like I hate to say it, like those are obviously smaller players, right? So it's a little different. But like look at where like all of that bag work has got where it got AI, right? Like AI had like a lot of like no help in Philly. He made it to the finals in 01, but it's like that bag made it to the finals and you got one game. And obviously, like that Lakers team was crazy. Like, let me make sure that is said. But like, it's still like look at like where those guys are compared to like the guys that like we're talking about, like the Michael Jordans and the LeBrons, the Kareems.
LeBron doesn't look like Michael. LeBron looks like Karl Malone
Yeah,
in
he's built
body
like
type.
James Worthy,
Yeah, so
large.
unless he had a particular shot that he's just perfected, and this is what makes him great, like he can't miss the sky hook, he can't miss the
Yep.
pick and roll jump shot from the corner, from the free throw line extended, a Dirk
Yep.
Nowitzki type of shot with the fadeaway.
Fadeaway.
Like he did not. LeBron doesn't have like a single shot that he used to get 50,000 points. He got it in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
If he didn't, he wouldn't have had that many points, and that's where his bad come from. He got all them points scoring in a variety of ways.
Yeah. And he came into the league not being like a great 3-point shooter either. And I'm not saying he's a great 3-point shooter now, but compared to his rookie season, he's definitely better. Like that
Oh,
happened.
he's pretty good now.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
You can
and
pull his
he,
numbers.
if we
His
want to
dude
talk
look
about
good.
like a move that was almost unstoppable, like imagine LeBron like the FU3 like in his younger years. Like imagine like he was doing that move then. Like obviously like that started more or less like in his Lakers time of him like actually doing that exact move multiple times. But like imagine if he was doing that like on the Heat team and all that like every time and that was his move. But like what you're saying, like he doesn't have that because he can score like he's a 3-level scorer. It's like KD. It's like we think of like a KD pull up, right? But like KD realistically, like his best shot from what I've seen is like a mid-range fadeaway falling out of bounds. You see that. Like that's like his move. Like LeBron doesn't have that, but like those guys like score at all 3 levels. Like and you have a bag anywhere. So I don't know. That's enough of the bag talk. But let me change this. But yeah, LeBron has a bag. Every NBA player has a bag. Like let's just be real. But speaking of the Cavs, almost Darius Garland. Let me pull it up right here. Let me close this tab. Darius Garland, All-Star guard, underwent surgery Monday to repair the injury in his left big toe that forced him out of 4 playoff games this spring, and it seems like he could miss more time this upcoming season. So yeah, Darius Garland. What I mean, what was your instant reaction to this? Because I saw it and I was like, I reading through the ESPN notification, I was like, hey, oh, like it is like it's the off season, like it don't matter. But then I looked at that timetable of return, like I didn't realize like a big toe like was doing like you're out for that long. Like, I know Dion doesn't have one, but I feel like he wasn't out that long.
Shaq missed some time when he had big toe surgery. That's the one that I can remember the most.
Yeah.
My first thought when I heard about Darius Garland having surgery was that maybe that was the reason he was kind of slowed, and they social media was kind of picking on. I think the Pacers even were kind of mentioning, hey, or what team was it? The team that they played in round one, it was Miami,
Miami.
where they were talking, hey, we play better when he's on the court, Darius Garland.
Yeah.
And so once Darius Garland sat down, all of a sudden Miami's losing those games by 40, 50 points.
Yeah.
So I think it must have been the injury that must have played a role in it. And
Yeah.
it's come out now that that's the case, which is interesting because there's a lot of chatter online about him potentially being moved
Yeah.
for and maybe he read the chatter and all that stuff, and that's why he decided not to attempt to rehab the injury and decided to go with surgery that's going to cause him to miss all of training camp and possibly some of the beginning
So
of the season.
yeah.
So most teams don't want that liability of we
No.
don't know what he's going to look like, and he's not going to have the time to develop the chemistry, get to know the coaches, get to know the plays and all that stuff on the
Yeah.
court. If we trade for him, it's actually an injury risk
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
guard position, which isn't good.
Yeah. And this year was a big one for Darius Garland. Because like there was a lot of chatter last year about what like where the Cavs could go, right? Like, because no one really knew in that sense, right, that they were going to end up being like the regular season team that they were. But yeah, it's definitely it's sad to say because it's like realistically, like would I have like I wouldn't have minded to see Darius Garland on a new team, right? And I'm not saying that he can't go to a new team, but it makes it a lot harder now. And so that he's more probably like a deadline guy coming up this next season, or maybe even earlier, as early as they can move off him. But yeah, it's just this kind of like goes along with like, I mean, like could Darius Garland like was he going to be like this big of like a where's the word? It's right there. It's in my head. God, it's I don't know. That point's done, man. That point for me is like that was bad. I had the word. I was like looking at it. Like I was looking at it and I was gone. Difference
Reading
maker.
it in your head. And
Difference maker. Could have Darius Garland, if he was 100% healthy, and obviously he wasn't because he had surgery on his right toe, like was he going to be like that much of a difference maker if he was at 100%? So it's like that's the question you have to ask. It's like, oh, like now we can run it back. Like, no, it's like, do you want to do that? Like what? Like look at your opportunity. Look at the options that you have coming up to the deadline, right? Because it's going to take time. But yeah, I don't. It's just I feel bad for Darius Garland, but you know, some basketball is basketball, and sometimes this stuff happens. But so hopefully a quick recovery, obviously, because that would be better than a longer one. But yeah, and who knows?
You don't want to rush. You don't want to rush feet stuff.
No.
If you rush your foot stuff and you you start aggravating the other side because you're compensating
for it,
then it becomes a recurring problem.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that player. So I think he needs to take all the time he needs in terms of the rehab because he did a surgery.
And who knows like the who knows what the actual timetable of return is, right? Because medicine is like so advanced now. It's like we saw like Jason Tatum like rip his Achilles in half, and the next day he was already out of surgery. Like they got it done quick. So maybe like obviously he waited some time to get this done, but maybe it's like they're like, oh, like it's not actually going to take as long, but we're going to say it is just as like a smoke and mirror thing, so everyone leaves us alone about it. Maybe that's the case, but I doubt it. But that's just me thinking like for like more or less good thoughts for the Cavs and not just like, oh, this is the long injury and it's done. But that's just me looking at it that way. Yeah.
They had the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. So I imagine, and they currently have the coach of the year. So I imagine they want to kind of maintain that dominance given the East potentially being way more weakened.
Yeah.
And hopefully for them that the only thing they really have to worry about is whatever it is the Knicks are going to do with their coaching situation and whatever the Pacers are going to do, given that the Pacers have never been in a luxury tax and they'll be facing doing that in order to maintain this NBA final squad.
Yeah.
So if all you do is stay the course, maybe you're the number one seed by default there. Or maybe you could move Darius Garland to push for future assets or other players who can help you win now, and you gamble that a guy who's completely healthy and can get into training camp with your number one squad can fill in the gaps and maybe even at a lower price point than Darius Garland.
Yeah.
And or you get draft picks and you re-up for when you inevitably start losing some of the other players that you got under contract.
Yeah. No, and the Cavs can really kind of they almost like now. I'm saying this now because Tatum, but like they like what you were saying, like it's like the Pacers have to spend a lot of money to keep this team back, and who knows if they're willing to spend that much, right? Because not every team is. Like they could be the number one seed again, but they also could be like, hey, like let's just see what we can do. Like see what I don't know if that's what they should do. I haven't really given it much thought, but next episode I want to do a DVR for the Cavs because I feel like that would be interesting to like actually go into a more deep dive into what they have and how they can, what adjustments they can make or what adjustments that they shouldn't make. So, but yeah, prayers to Darius Garland. Obviously, I know it's not a life concerning medical injury, but it's still still something that you don't want to have to deal with every day. So, but all right, Hidro, where can they find you?
I am at the Hero Joe, THAHEROJOE, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also Instagram at the Hero Joe. And you can find my articles on BellyUpSports.com. And you, Jacob?
You can find me on Twitter, Hammy 2004, Hammy spelled HAMIE, not HAMMY. And then obviously you can find us on Twitter at Hardwood Huddle, not the Hardwood Huddle. Couldn't get that one. But yeah, make sure to use our Opus Clips affiliate link in the comments below, or in the description below. It's down there, along with Hidro's latest article. And yeah, thank you to BellyUp Sports for obviously giving us this show as always. Hidro, have a good one, man.
All right, you too.